She married the town's poorest mountain man. Then he led her to a lost secret kingdom in the clouds. The preacher's daughter stands in worn calico at the edge of Redemption Creek, water to her knees, washing blood from her sleeves. Not her blood. She scrubs until her knuckles split. The creek runs pink, then clear. Her hands shake. Behind her, the town wakes to scandal. A locked bedroom door broken open. Her stepfather cold on the floor. Laudanum bottle empty beside him. They'll have questions. She has no answers they'll believe. By noon, the whispers reach the general store. By evening, the boarding house locks its door against her. She sits on her carpetbag outside the church her father built, watching lamplight bloom in windows across the valley. None for her. The mountain man finds her there after dark. He doesn't speak, just stands at the edge of lamplight, hat in hands, turning it slow. He's older than she expected, maybe 40, maybe older. His face carries weather and silence. One eye wanders slightly. His coat's been mended so many times, the original fabric's a guess. "Heard you need a name," he says finally. She looks up, pities him. "What's the cost?" "No cost." He shifts his weight. "Got a cabin. 2 rooms. You'd have 1. Why?" He's quiet a long time. A dog barks somewhere distant. "My sister once needed a door to lock. Nobody gave her one." She understands what he doesn't say. The thing that happened. The thing nobody helped. "I can work," she tells him. "Didn't ask you to." "I won't be charity." He nods once. Fair enough. They marry at dawn, with only the circuit judge watching. The judge looks at her with pity, at him with contempt, signs the paper without ceremony. The mountain man, Silas, the paper says, pays him with coins counted careful from a leather pouch. Outside, frost covers everything silver. Her breath clouds white. "You got a horse?" Silas asks. "No." He gestures to a mule hitched nearby. She climbs up. He walks ahead, leading them toward mountain homes that rise like walls against the sky. She watches his back, his steady pace, his silence. Tries to imagine what manner of man offers shelter to a woman the town's already condemned. The trail climbs. Trees thicken. The valley disappears below them. She thinks, "I've married a stranger to escape strangers." She thinks, this is how women vanish. But when she shivers, he stops, unpacks a blanket without asking, drapes it over her shoulders. His hands don't linger. They climb higher. The cabin sits in a clearing where the mountain flattens, smaller than she expected, rougher, but the chimneys straight, the roof sound, the windows whole. He built this himself, she can tell. Every log chosen careful. Inside smells like wood smoke and coffee and solitude. "That door locks," Silas says, pointing to the right. "From inside only. Keys in the lock." She enters her room. Narrow bed, clean quilt, table with a lamp, pegs for hanging clothes. A window faces east. She sets down her carpetbag, tests the lock. It clicks solid. When she emerges, he's at the stove. Coffee's hot. Bacon if you want. She sits, accepts the cup. He doesn't watch her drink, doesn't hover. Just eats his own meal, standing, looking out the window at gathering clouds. Storm coming, he says. It arrives after dark. Thunder shakes the cabin walls. She lies in her locked room, listening to rain hammer the roof. Wind scream through trees. Lightning illuminates her window in jagged bursts. She doesn't sleep. Morning brings silence. She unlocks her door, finds him already gone. A fire burns low in the stove, coffee still warm, bread wrapped in cloth on the table, with a jar of preserves. She eats, washes dishes, explores. Behind the cabin, she discovers a workshop. Tools hung precise on walls. Wood shavings curl on the floor. Half-finished furniture waits. A chair, a chest, a cradle. Beautiful work. The kind that takes time and attention. Beyond that, a garden plot, empty now. Autumn bare, but prepared. Tilled and waiting. He returns at midday, carrying firewood. Stacks it without speaking. She watches from the doorway. You make furniture, she says. Some. It's good work. He nods. Straightens. You hungry? They eat beans and cornbread. The silence stretches comfortable. Outside, clouds drift low, touching treetops. She's never been this high. Never seen clouds from above. Town's 4 hours down, Silas says. If you need anything. I won't go to town. He looks at her then. Really looks. Month maybe. Town forgets. I won't forget. He accepts this. Fair enough. Days pass. She learns his rhythms. He rises before dawn, works wood or tends repairs, returns for meals, speaks little, asks nothing. She cooks, cleans, mends his shirts, not obligation, occupation. Her hands need work, or they remember blood. Week 2, she finds him in the workshop. Teach me, she says. He considers, hands her sandpaper, shows her how to smooth wood with the grain, patient. His fingers guide hers once, then withdraw. She works until her shoulders ache. The wood becomes silk under her palms. That night, he leaves carved wooden spoons beside her door. Rough but honest. She runs her thumb over them, thinking about hands that make rather than break. The clouds stay low. Some mornings she wakes inside them, the world erased to white. She learns to love the disappearing. Up here, the valley can't see her, can't judge. Silas watches her watching clouds. Higher up, he says one evening, there's a place. What place? But he doesn't answer. Just looks toward the peaks above, where mountains climb into sky, and something in his expression suggests wonder. First snow comes early. Silas stands at the window, studying the sky with something like anticipation. Time, he says. She looks up from mending. For what? To show you why I live up here? They climb at dawn. The trail's narrow steep, barely there. He moves sure-footed. She follows, breathing. Hard. Above the tree line, wind cuts sharp. She wraps her shawl tight. He doesn't rush her. The path ends at a wall of rock. She thinks they've reached nothing. Then he shows her the gap, barely wide enough to slip through sideways. She hesitates. "Trust me," he says. She does. Doesn't know when that happened. Beyond the gap, the mountain opens. A hidden valley spreads before them, small and secret. But it's what rises from the valley that stops her breath. Ruins. Stone towers and walls, half collapsed, but unmistakable. Buildings climbing the slopes in terraces. Doorways and windows empty as skulls. Ancient, forgotten. A city built in clouds. What is this? Her voice sounds small. Don't know. Been here longer than anyone remembers. He walks forward, boots crunching frost. Found it when I was 16. Never told anyone. She follows him through empty streets. The stones are fitted perfect. No mortar. Some walls still stand 2 stories high. In the center, a fountain basin, dry for ba. Centuries. Beyond it, a building larger than the rest. Columns still standing. Who built it? People who understood height, solitude. He touches a wall, reverent. People who wanted distance from the world below. She understands. This is why he lives alone. Why he climbs. He's protecting this secret kingdom. This proof that people once chose isolation and built something beautiful anyway. They explore until the light shifts gold. He shows her rooms carved into rock, stairs leading nowhere, a chamber where the ceiling opens to sky. She finds pottery shards, traces of paint on stone, evidence of lives lived in clouds. "Why show me?" she asks. He's quiet. "Then you're the first person I thought might understand. Why someone would build a home where nobody else could reach it." She looks at him. This weathered man who offered shelter without asking her secrets. Who understands that sometimes safety means distance. Elevation. Walls. "Thank you," she says. They descend as snow begins. By the time they reach the cabin, the trail's erasing behind them. The secret kingdom disappears into white. That night, she doesn't lock her door. Small thing. But he notices. She sees him notice. Neither speaks of it. Winter settles. They're snowed in for days at a time. The cabin shrinks around them. She learns he reads. Battered books, stacked careful. She learns he carves animals from scraps, leaves them on windowsills. She learns his silences have different weights. He learns she has nightmares, doesn't ask about them, just keeps the fire going so she wakes to warmth. One evening, he's carving. She's reading. The snow falls steady outside. "Your sister," she says. What happened to her? His knife stills. Long silence. Man hurt her. Town said she invited it. Blamed her dress, her laugh, her trust. He resumes carving. Careful. She walked into the river that spring. I found her downstream. I'm sorry. Me too. She sets down her book. My stepfather came to my room for 3 years. When he finally drank enough laudanum to sleep permanent, I thanked God. She looks at her hands. Town called it murder, anyway. It wasn't. No. They sit with that truth between them. The fire pops. Snow whispers against windows. We're the ones who survived, Silas says finally. Have to count for something. She thinks about the kingdom in clouds. People who survived by building higher. Yes, she says. It does. Spring comes late to the mountain. Ice breaks reluctant. Silas repairs the cabin's winter damage while she plans the garden. They work in comfortable rhythm now. He brings her seedlings from town, doesn't say how many stairs he endured to buy them. But something shifts after his town trip. He's quieter. Won't meet her eyes. What happened? She asks finally. Nothing. Silas. He stops, sets down his hammer. Sheriff asked questions. About you, if you seem unstable, dangerous. He looks away. Told him you were fine. Just a wife. What did you want to tell? Him? Long silence. That you're the strongest person I have met. That the man who hurt you earned what he got. That the town's wrong. His jaw works. But I didn't. Just said you were fine and came home. She understands his shame. The cowardice of survival. You protected me, she says. I should have defended you. Not the same thing. One keeps me alive. She touches his arm briefly. I'll take alive. But something's broken between them. He works longer hours, comes home exhausted. She gardens alone, planting rows of beans and corn, carrots and squash. The earth accepts seeds without judgment. May brings a visitor, a woman from town, older, kind-faced. She arrives on horseback, calls greeting from the clearing's edge. Silas tenses. But the woman dismounts, approaches slowly. I'm Margaret, run the boarding house. She looks at them both. Came to apologize for locking my door against you. Wasn't Christian. Wasn't right. Why now? Silas asks, suspicious. Because I finally asked questions instead of believing gossip. She looks at the cabin, the garden, the careful life they're building. Heard what really happened about your stepfather, about what he did. Her voice hardens. Should have hanged years ago. The woman's words settle like balm. Someone believes her. Finally, Margaret stays for coffee. Talks about town, weather, nothing important. But her presence matters. Witness. Validation. When she leaves, she touches Silas's shoulder. You did good taking her in. Folks are starting to see that. After she's gone, silence fills the cabin. She stands at the window, watching clouds drift. I could go back, she says. If townskeeping, find work. Stop hiding. You're not hiding. His voice sounds rough. You're living. Up here with you. Yes. She turns. He's watching her with something raw in his expression. Fear. Is that what you want? He asks. To go back down? She thinks about the valley, the town, the possibility of redemption in their eyes. Then thinks about this cabin, the secret kingdom above. The man who gave her a locked door and never asked to open it. No, she says. I want to stay. His breath releases. Why? Because you never made me prove I deserved shelter, never asked me to earn safety. She steps closer. Because you showed me your kingdom and trusted me to keep it secret. It's your kingdom too, now. Yes. They stand close enough to touch. Don't. Not yet. I'm scared, he admits. Me too. But I'd like... He stops. Starts again. I'd like to try. If you would. A real marriage. Not just arrangement. She considers. This damaged man. This careful life. This elevation that feels like freedom. We'll go slow, she says. Yes. And honest. Yes. She reaches for his hand. He takes it. His palms rough, scarred, warm, cool. Summer arrives full. The garden grows wild and abundant. She pickles, preserves, plans. Silas builds a larger table. More chairs. Space for future. She unpacks the bottom of her carpet bag. Her mother's Bible. A photograph. Small treasures she'd kept hidden. Arranges them on the shelf. Claiming space. Staying. They climb to the kingdom once a week. Their ritual. She's memorizing the ruins, imagining the lives lived there. Sometimes they talk. Sometimes just sit among ancient stones, watching clouds move below them. They weren't running, she says one afternoon. The people who built this. No. They were choosing. There's a difference. She looks at him. Like us. He nods slowly. Like us. Autumn comes again. Full circle. She stands in the garden, harvesting squash, and realizes she's happy. Not despite the isolation. Because of it. Because happiness isn't found. It's built. Log by log, seed by seed, day by day. Silas comes from the workshop, wood shavings in his hair. She brushes them away. He catches her hand, kisses her knuckles. Thought I'd die alone up here, he says. Now I think I'll live. She smiles. Me too. They carry the harvest inside together. The cabin smells like bread and coffee and home. Outside, clouds drift low, wrapping them in white. Their kingdom, below and above, built not found, chosen not given. She thinks love is lumber and nails and time. Shelter constructed careful, trust earned slow. She thinks we're the ones who survived. And survival, she's learned, is its own kind of glory.